Is it time to go racing? You bet it is! The green flag flies at Goodwood once again. The tricolour is waved to get things underway. And it is time to head it into the first turn. Magic corner with Ben Collins side by side. There was a bit of a bolt there, wasn't there, from the number 18, the Bentley Birkin blower, and the number 18 piloted by Hugh Apthorpe.
Yeah, what a start from the number 18. Really made a bolt, looking eagled eyes on the flag drop as they funnel now through 4 more turns. It's neck and neck between the number 44, the 1929 Bugatti.
Oh, gaining, and going through. The opening lap of this race seems to be another, Alice.
It is. It's very busy out there, isn't it? Everyone's funneling into position. But Ben Collins had closed the gap there, and you can just see the dust left by Karun's car. But Ben Collins now is hanging it round the outside, down the front straight, down the back straight. He's going to go the long way around, but he's going to make it in front just in time, just before Woodcote Corner.
This is a 36-minute race. You can see the car number 1, the Vauxhall Brooklands Special, and car number 1 driven by Christoph Cowens on this opening stint, trying to take that second place away after a spirited start by Fabry, momentarily taking the lead before Ben Collins got it back, and that is what he holds going in to lap number 2 of the contest. Ben Collins behind the wheel of the Bentley Speed model from 1925, and another change out front, and Fabry has retaken the lead, so they're swapping it over on this opening tour.
Yeah, they certainly are. But waiting in the wings is Cowens. He's waiting there patiently on the back of this battle as there's constant swapping and jostling for position down the main straight. There is the number 10, William Metcalf, lone driver in the Bentley 3-litre Le Mans from 1925.
So further back, everyone, let's see who was able to take the start of things. We appear to be missing quite a few. Car 8, car 16, car 13, car 4 do not appear to be setting times on the board. You're looking at the leaderboard there, and there is big applause across the line for one of the cars just cutting the beam now. So the one at the rear of the field.
Down the inside there goes the Baxter Bond, number 72. I was going to say we might have 3 abreast. It'd be very brave down this back straight.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Exactly my words as well in my head. Don't do it. Please don't do it. But it's Ben Collins that nips and takes back the lead. But for how long?
Well, Ben Collins has had it, has lost it, has retaken it again once more now. And Fabry in the 44, the Bugatti Type 44, car number 44, just keeping in close proximity. You've got the Vauxhall Brooklands Special in there as well. This is the beautiful car number 5, the 4.5-litre Bentley, the blower, and it's currently Martin Overington who is behind the wheel.
And started at the back of the field, remember, because it broke down on the way to the grid and gained already a handful of places, or more than a handful actually, and up to 12th place, and charging down now the rest of the pack. So we'll have to keep an eye on that Bentley.
Your turn now, says Ben Collins to Fabry, and the Bugatti is back into the lead of the contest with 31 minutes to go, and the top 3 from the front row continue to circulate almost glued together. It's got to be patient here, no need to make a rash move. Can't really, in these cars, afford to have many wide moments without it turning into a full spin.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be spinning and going onto the grass in one of these cars. As down the inside goes Cowens, takes P2 away from Ben Collins. He's got a tiny gap in front of him to the number 44, who's actually pulled a little bit of ever so slightly of a gap, because these 2 behind have been changing position. But how long for? I feel like the gap has really closed under braking there, and is the number 1 going down the inside.
Wait and see. That's a wide line. That's a very wide line
It's the Bentley.
For the number 5, and Martin Overington taking the widest line possible, but absolutely hammering through the field at the moment. Oh, it's getting very, very close for the Vauxhall taking the lead. The Brooklands Special, the 3098 Vauxhall Brooklands Special from 1924. It was the Ronald Hughes Vauxhall Special. The car was assembled in 1933, and its first appearance at Brooklands was on the 7th of July in 1934, and it's been racing ever since. Great to see all those in the front row fighting amongst themselves at the moment.
Yeah, Martin Overington has really, really closed the gap now on the back of this group. He's lighting up the timing screens. Purple, and probably purple in the final sector, which means fastest overall. As a cheeky check over the shoulder from Ben Collins. You've got to give a bit of a gap, Ben, so you can concentrate, eyes forward, and chase this battling pair in front.
Just having a check where the rival is. Arm up of acknowledgement there for car number 1's Christoph Coens, who is the leader at the moment, with Fabry trying to retake that place. We make our way through the lap. Slightly slower pace with these cars, but really wonderful to see their artistry on the racetrack. Nothing between the two of them in the lead, but they've got a car to clear. That was the car that was being roared to the rafters, and it allows the Vauxhall to stretch its legs.
Yeah, the Vauxhall stretched its legs ever so slightly, and it looks like the 44 is starting to smoke even more. We saw some little bits of smoke of the number 1 of Cowans in the Brooklands Special. No room to go down the inside there. I wonder if it's maybe, I was going to say maybe some bodywork rubbing there, as it only seems to be turning around certain corners. But they're going to go neck and neck now, Alex, all the way up the Levant Straight, slightly uphill. Who's going to have the race first? But look at Ben Collins has come back to join the party. They've got a little bit of traffic, and then that almost boxed in there, the number 1.
Yeah, they go past Derek Bell, and it's a new order. So these three are working together, racing each other, passing, repassing, and passing again. And really great to see the car control required, because the direction change is significant at parts of this circuit. Certainly St Mary's, you do need to rotate the car. The problem is, any sudden movements in one of these, and you are fighting it for far longer than the modern cars that we've seen in comparison, the ones that appeared 40 years after these raced at Le Mans.
And probably trying not to fall out yes. As well. But just crossing the line there is the Bentley, who is still travelling around very quickly around this Goodwood circuit, up to 4th place now, and eyes will be set on that battle for the lead in front. He's a good 5.8 seconds
out there at the moment and enjoying things. The Vauxhall continues to lead the Brooklands Special, 26 minutes away from victory. The problem is that you've got Fabry right behind him in the Bugatti, and then you've got the excellent car Ben Collins in the Bentley Speed model from 1925 that is giving chase as well, but they're not getting in each other's way. Ben Collins says, okay, you've held the lead for long enough, and goes on the attack. In formation we go. We've been threatening 3 wide for so long, but they know it's not sensible as they come to the end of the Levant Straight and make their way through Woodcote Corner, just the chicane, to complete another lap.
Yeah, so I'm just looking to see if it is the right, turning into right-handers, where the number 44 car might be smoking the Bugatti. So we'll keep another close eye on that as we charge down the straight. A little bit of traffic there to get past, but it's quite easy there. The number 8.
That's the Bentley 3-litre from 1922. Jonathan Turner behind the wheel. Darren Turner started this stint, I should say, and trying to find a gear by the looks of things, looking down into the cockpit when they went past, trying to shine a light on some of the cars that we're seeing other than this fantastic battle. The trio out front, although it's good lap from Fabry, good lap to try and break clear of them, but it feels like they're playing the long game.
Yeah, I would say so. But that number 5 Bentley, you can see it there in the background now, coming to join this party, Alex, very quickly, lapping nearly 3 seconds quicker than this gaggle of cars. So great job by Martin dragging and closing the gap, and he's literally, I think before the end of this lap, Alex, he might even be on the back and dicing for the podium positions.
Driving the wheels off it on the exit of St Mary's there, as they make the rotation through Levant Corner, and he has roared his way from parked up and not sure if he was going to compete, now finds himself in a really strong 4th place. Overington working the wheel brilliantly, 4.6 seconds off the lead. The lead that's changing again now. Ben Collins goes through and takes his Bentley back to the front of the field.
Not for very long, all side by side through Woodcote Corner, keep it clean, do they? Oh, ever so close. Respectful racing. The 44 is going to have it. Francois is going to keep it down the inside. Does he know it's Ben that just sneaks ahead? And the entry into the chicane, great stuff.
Well, all of this racing that we've seen on a fantastic day, and the top 4 are glued together. What a great competitive day of racing it has been. Even some of the front runners in previous races have spun off and had to work for it. But what a comeback drive from the number 5. The 4.5 litre blower, the 1929 Bentley, being driven brilliantly by Martin Overington. And is he about to take his place on the podium by, or at least thinking about it, to move up into the top 3? Nothing that Vauxhall could do about it. Maybe positioning the car for the corners to come, but that is a continuation as he shuts the door and takes the place. Continuation, Alice, of a superb recovery drive.
Yeah, great recovery. We thought it was all over. Getting a little bit sideways, though, going through the first part of St Mary's 1 and on the exit of St Mary's 2, so they're really pushing. Ben Collins has started to up the pace. So now this front 2 have started to up the pace together, Alex. So maybe they've seen Martin in the mirrors and thought, OK, we need to stop battling here now. We need to up our game. We need to up the pace. And they have done already, increasing their times in the first sector alone as they're heading down the long Levant straight, and they'll cross the timing beam. Let's see if they improve on their previous best in the middle sector as we wait for them to have a look. A little bit of traffic, and they do. So they've definitely seen the Bentley in the mirrors and thought, right, come on, time to go.
Ben Collins continues to lead the way in the 7. It's the race lead here has belonged to 3 cars across the course of the day. They are the cars that were at the end of this lap in the top 3. Is there a way for Overington to fight his way to the head of the field, having been parked up on the reconnaissance lap? Got the car running once again, and in with the pit window open, in comes Christoph Coens, and he will make his way out of the car. There's Derek Bell completing his stint as well. Terrific for him to be back behind the wheel. And that's a great opening stint, gives the Vauxhall a huge opportunity. It's not as complex a driver change as you get in Le Mans these days. You've got a slight paddle with the side of the car for a door, and just waiting for the stop time, checking all is well. A little bit of a debrief, if you can conduct a debrief in this time. And the mandatory time waited for on the stopwatch.
Yeah, Gregoire Fiskin's getting in the car now, visor down, having a quick chat, with Christoph, making sure everything's okay. And that probably feels like a really long time of watching that stopwatch as he's given the wave to leave, as he bolts out of the pit lane and bleeds in. Let's have a little look. So there's a bit of traffic around him, so he's not led out into a great position, but a thumbs up there as one of the slower cars who also came out. That is the Derek Bell car. Derek no longer in the car, of course. He's hopped out. Stefan is hopped in.
Back to the battle for the lead, back to the swapping over as we continue to cycle through. So you've got to make your mandatory stop, and you've got to see the drive. There we go. Making our way back to Ben Collins, who is still at the head of the field. Car number 7 in his Bentley Speed model. The car owned by Gareth Gray.
Oh, and it's going to get a bit of traffic there. Ben runs slightly wide, and that's also delayed the 44 Fabian Bailey car as peeling into the pits. Not sure who that was. That is the number So the number 21 peeling into the pits to make the mandatory stop. There we go, pulling up nicely.
Yeah, switching drivers. And being timed so there's nothing dangerous being done. We go back to the never-ending story out front. This battle has been going since the opening seconds of the race, with 19 minutes and 36 seconds left on the clock. They continue to run in close formation. I wonder how this one's going to be resolved, Alex.
Well, that's a very good question. It will come down to having a nice clean pit stop, and I think traffic as well. We've seen it's getting quite busy with getting past some of the lap cars, so wanting to have your luck, as that's the number 21. Is that going out? So Mihai's out of the car now, and Williams is hopping in to take the car back out on track. But yeah, traffic will play a big part of this, but we're not seeing Overington trying to try and move as such. And he's waiting patiently, or maybe struggling actually, because there is a lot of traffic out there they're coming up to now. But actually the number 44 has played the traffic, or got lucky with the traffic, one of the two. They'll say played it well and made an escape down the road. But how long for?
Well, that is the question at the moment. There's the number 7 continuing to lead the way, the Bentley, and then we're getting used to the back of the number 5. The number 7 chasing down the number 44, being chased by, there you go, through goes Fabry in the 44. Then we got Collins, who started the last lap at the head of the field, now down to second position. And then you've got Overington, who has put together a terrific stint, but has driven up to the back of the leaders and stayed there for the time being.
Yeah, for the time being. I wonder if they've got a set plan of who's going to, what part of the race they're going to come into the pits. I wonder if they're just waiting for one of them to dive in and then the rest follow. But the Fabry and Bailey car has just set their personal best lap of the race and dipped into the 1:53s now, which is what we saw Martin Overington doing as he was charging through the back as a wave of a thank you. And just as I say that, Ben Collins goes back through, but how long for? Brave move down there into St Mary's 1.
Don't want to scrap too much. Remember, the Vauxhall has made its stop. It was a 4-car battle out front, but now we're checking in on car 66 out there at the moment, and that is the Bentley 3, the 4.5 litre car that is currently in 6th position,
going into the pits.
And arm up to indicate the pit stop is about to be made, so that will be the end of Niall McFadden's stint.
Yep, so they'll pull in to the pits. Now will drop out, and then Jock will hop back in.
Jock McKinnon next in that car, from 1926, that one. And we are focusing on car number 7. And there just does seem to be a constant amount of smoke coming from car number 7 now. We've seen a lot from 44. I wonder if that's a little bit of bodywork rubbing, because it's always at an angle we seem to see the smoke.
Yeah, that's what were my thoughts as well. And some thumbs up. Right, so there was a thumbs up there, Alex, from the number 44 to the pit wall. So does that mean this is the final lap for Francois, and that he'll be peeling into the pits to swap over with his teammate Jonathan? So let's have a close eye. So I'm interested to see what the others behind him, what Martin and Ben do as well, whether they decide to carry on, do another lap, or whether they jump in as well. Saying that, actually Martin is already in the pits.
Looking at the lap times out there, it's Overington who's had the best lap of the race so far. That's significantly faster than what any of our leading pair in your picture at the moment have been able to do. It's the Bugatti, the Type 44, leading the way at the moment, ahead of the number 7, the Bentley Speed model, driven by Ben Collins. And he continues, there he is, in that high seating position. And then further back, the number 3.
It's a funky number 3, isn't it?
It is a funky number 3. We like that a lot. Currently down in 9th position. lap down, but circulating nicely if you consider that there were 25 of them who took the flag earlier on to start the race.
Yeah, so let's have a little look. They're coming towards, the leaders are anyway, towards the end of the lap. They're heading down into Woodcote now. So let's see if maybe there's a bit of tactics maybe going on. Was Francois giving the wave to the pit wall just to trick Ben? Who knows? But we'll see if he peels into the pits very soon.
Well, the pit window is open, but you do need to run both drivers. Another move to the inside. Looks like it's about to be completed.
And they're in. The two leaders, I can just see out of the commentary box window. They have peeled into the pits. There they are on the screen now.
So both pitting at the same time, not favouring another lap without the attentions of the other. And a quick conversation about what to do.
So Ben is hopping out. And Gareth Graham will jump in.
Yeah, so it... And hold on a minute.
That was the Overington car. That was Martin. So that is a great shame, because we were going to have, I feel, a three-way battle for the lead there. So we'll try and find out what's gone on. Well, it obviously had issues much earlier, well, before the race even started, didn't it, Alex? So that's really unfortunate. But there is the 44 now, is heading out the pits with Bailey on board now. Francois has done his job. He can get a nice fresh bottle of water. Other drinks are available. I wonder which one he'll choose, as Graham comes out as well, a little bit further behind. So I'm guessing they would have all met the required pit stop time. We'll have to wait and see, keep an eye on the time screen, see if any penalties do come up. But a bit of a gap now there. I think it's around about 5 seconds.
Well, we're going to see how this all shakes out in a few moments, and it's gone really, really well. If you look for the 44, and Bailey now behind the wheel. Bailey showing the way to Graham, who is operating things for the number 7 for the Bentley, as the Bugatti continues on its way. Seems to just hit the bumps horribly coming through St Mary's, and yet it just works for it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem the smoothest of rides, does it, at all? But for the misfortune of the Bentley, the number 5 Bentley, that has now brought the Cowans and Fiskin car back up into the podium spot. We were having that great battle earlier on. So Gregoire's now at the wheel of the number 1 car, and that's back up onto the podium.
So it is now turning into much more of a gap out there, with Bailey slightly leaving behind things for Graham there, but still a long way to go. These are cars with an incredible history, nearly a century of history, and good to see that so many are continuing to run at the moment in the Rudge-Whitworth Cup. Who's going to get their hands on it? Who is going to be declared the winner and take the laurels down there on the start-finish line at the end of this one? Just a reminder, if you've not been in your position all day, if you've not been watching the stream all day, if you've not been trackside all day, we have seen late drama in plenty of races today. What looks set in stone at one moment can completely change the next. Yeah,
it certainly can. As the number 44... as the gap is coming down, so last lap from the Collins and Graham cars really closed the gap. So that outlap, time difference-wise, was just under 4 seconds. So the gap stands at 2.3. So we will see a battle for the lead resume. There is the current leader at the moment, leading. Still that smoke coming out the back, going through St Mary's. Got a little bit of traffic from the number 12 ahead. Bailey at the wheel of that car now, but Graham, I will see in the back of the shot. There we go. We just saw him in the back chasing down the number 44, but Bailey's got past the traffic, and Graham's not caught it at a great place, as he really, Alex, is going through the back corner, and yeah, that's going to definitely slow him down, which is great news for Bailey.
It is. Oh, what have we got out there? There's a lot of smoke for one of the cars. Was that just a wide moment coming out of Levant corner? But there was certainly an issue for someone coming onto the straight and through the kink. But continuing on, the Type 44 from 1927. Bugatti produced the Type 44 as a mid-sized car built to the same high standard as their race cars, and they modified the versions that competed at Le Mans. 1,100 were sold, and it became Bugatti's most successful car so far for the brand, and it looks like it might be about to achieve some more success at the moment, as about as large as the lead has been all race long between the 44 and the 7.
Yeah, well, there's Gareth Graham in the number 7 entrant of this car. So he stuck the entry in, had an experienced driver with Ben Collins behind the wheel, but he's putting in some fast lap times and has increased the gap. Has Bailey, Jonathan Bailey, ever so slightly, but that I'm sure was down to a little bit of traffic for Graham. He's coming up now. Have 9 minutes remaining on the clock.
So 9 minutes ago, we approached 75% distance completed. It is Bailey ahead of Graham. It is Fiskin in 3rd place, but dropping way back. So that was a car that was competing at the front. Now, where you catch the traffic here, Alice, that can play a massive role, because you can see the 44 doesn't know where to go. Big control required behind the steering wheel, and avoiding action as well.
Yeah, and he's taken the brave outside line there, but this is where the Collins and Graham car caught the traffic last time. So Bailey's getting a taste of it there, and the pit window is now closed, so no more pit stop or driver changes can be made. But Gareth Graham on that last lap, that first sector has definitely closed the gap. He was a good 8/10 quicker, and he's managed to make his way through the traffic much better. Again, luck of the draw with the traffic there, and you can see the gap certainly has closed, as they're near enough going to be entering the chicane at the same time.
Well, it's looking good at the moment for Jonathan Bailey, and in the first stint it was Francois Fabry behind the wheel of the 44, Type 44 Bugatti. And let's see what the gap is across the line now.
1.4, it's coming down.
It's not huge. It's not the luxury that you would want with 7.5 minutes to go on the clock. Is this one going to have a late twist like we've seen in so many races today?
Yeah, so he's bleeding past, go through Fordwater, but look at the traffic in front that they've got to deal with. That's it's probably stressful enough trying to drive these cars with the controls that they might not be used to. We don't see people driving these cars on the road these days, do we? So there's a lot of things to deal with, and then let alone having to deal with the traffic as well. As the Collins and Graham car now, look, is right up the back, but that smoke looks like that's increased to me, Alex.
Yeah, we weren't seeing that at the start. We weren't seeing that at the start at all. It's getting worse and worse and worse as we go on. The drivers will know at this stage of the weekend what they've got underneath them. They'll know every rattle. They'll know the vibrations to pay attention to. They'll know the rattle to not pay attention to, but you can't really ignore that, can you? When he's leaning on... Now, let's see if it disappears on the straight. Yeah, so it's when he's leaning on the car into Levant corner, that's when you're getting an enormous amount of smoke for the number 7, which is getting closer, which is drawing alongside, and this could be a late change for the lead. Might be smoking out of Levant corner, but it's quick, you know, and that's a great pass. Through goes Graham to take first place. Yeah,
Graham down the inside even before Woodcote corner leads it out to the edge of the track. I mean, they're both smoking along, but the 44's been smoking from the start, which I think might be some possible bodywork rubbing ever so slightly there. But now it is Bailey. Jonathan Bailey needs to turn up the wick a little bit if he wants to hang on to the back. He needs to tie a tow rope to the back of the Collins and Graham car as they drop. Half a second separating them as they cross the line, with just over 5.5 minutes left to go. But that is smoking a lot, isn't it?
Just intrigued. I mean, it's any sizable change of direction. We're getting an enormous amount of smoke. And how tenable is that situation for our race leader? They're really pushed to regain this lead. looked a decent advantage at some time. Does the Bugatti have more in the locker to try and fight it back? And is the Bentley out front, number 7 at the moment? Can it carry on cornering like that?
Well, that is the question. As he's closed the gap there, has Bailey. He was over half a second slower in the first sector. We're in the second sector now. Penalty for a pit window infringement, and usually we've seen that will be either coming in too early, too late, or not for the allotted pit stop time.
That is a difficult moment for car 98, currently driven by Rob Hubbard. And this is getting very, very close through the smoke, being distributed from the car in the lead to the car in second place. Does Bailey have an important lap in the locker now, because they need one? What a performance these two cars have put on across 4 different drivers, across 2 different stints. They're still barely separated at all. 3.27 the gap. 0.3 of a second the gap across the line. We are coming down, and both of them, Alice Powell, you point to me in the commentary box, did their personal best last time round.
They did, and they're going to run side by side now. Alex, no. As Bailey pulls back into the slipstream, goes, you know what, actually maybe I'll give it another go. Having a little look, pulling out through Fordwater as they head up they go downhill, then they go uphill into St Mary's. But yes, they're pushing each other along now, and really cranked up the pace, as I said, and as you said, setting personal bests. Oh, but every time I see that Bentley speed smoking, is it going to go down the inside? Is Bailey? He is.
Well, this is what a great shot that is. Gives you a great idea of the speed that these cars from the 1920s are producing for us here at Goodwood. What a fantastic day of the revival it's been. But who's getting their hands on the Rudge-Whitworth Cup? They've been debating it between the Bugatti and the Bentley since the first corner of the first lap. And now, on lap 17, we are taking it very, very close to the end here. 2.5 minutes to go, and we have no idea which car it's going to be. Will it be the 7? Will it be the 44?
Yeah, you're brave if you want to call it. Is he having a look down the inside? Is Bailey's late on the brakes? Is he going to get it stopped into Woodcote Corner? Sorry, yes, just about. We can see him fighting on the wheel. Does he run wide? No, just keeps it within the track, which is great stuff. Clearly felt that he needed to be in front heading into, which will probably get, this won't be the final lap. We're going to have one more, I would say, after this, but this is great racing.
There isn't going to be much left on the clock when they go over the line, but there should still be about 3 or 4 seconds when they come around next time. And this is the penultimate tour, we expect then, of the Rudge-Whitworth Cup. It has been close throughout. It has been exciting throughout. We've got plenty still continuing round at the moment. Hubbard, remember, in the 98 car in 5th place, has that penalty for the pit stop infringement. Side by side we go. Penultimate tour of the circuit. These cars from the 1920s going wheel to wheel once again. Check of the left-hand mirror. Is there anyone there? There is now. The Bentley's back in the lead.
Round Fordwater, which is such a fast part of the track.
Traffic ahead could change things. They should both be able to get past the maroon car that's directly in front of you, but where you catch the traffic could change things. It did earlier on in the Barry Sheen Memorial Trophy. They're both going to get by.
Yeah, it can also slow you down, and I'm convinced that there was going to be, like you said, Alex, 2 or 3 seconds left on the clock. But if they lose 2 or 3 seconds on the clock, this could end up being the last lap, as they both, ever so close, they go either side of number 3.
It's a 1920s version of Hakkinen, Schumacher and Zonta for a second there, but the number 7 stays ahead, and that is crucial at this stage. But how much were they impeded by that traffic? Not for the worry of penalties or blue flags, but will they have enough time on the board? If you don't have enough time, these could be the final corners of the last lap. They're watching the clock, they're watching each other, they're watching the mirrors, and it's all in the balance heading to the chicane.
Graham had a little look, pulled over slightly to defend. Is he going to keep it? He ran slightly wide, a bit of a twitch at the tail on the way out. We have 7, 6, 5 seconds left.
4, 3, 2, we got over the line. line. We got over the line, and we will carry on. Amazing stuff. That really did go down to the final seconds. There's no checkered flag, and we're on to the last lap. A last lap that we only had because of about 1 second, and the smoke is gaining and billowing with every corner that the 7 rotates through. They really are driving the wheels off these things.
They are, and Bailey's right in the toe of the number 7 as they come through Broadwater once again. A little bit of traffic, and this was the corner where we saw Graham go down the inside, but he's in the lead, of course, for now as they come into St Mary's. Both of them now smoking away together as they come through the second part. Let's have a look up the road. Is there any traffic? No, there isn't, Alex.
This is where I think the Bugatti, just with its shorter wheelbase, it is just more nimble through St Mary's. It means that you can build up the momentum that you need. It's all about the exit through Levant Corner. You can see how much the Bentley in the lead is leaning on its left-hand tyres as it goes through. We've got one straight Woodcote Corner and the chicane to go. Has Graham done enough in the Bentley?
This is where we saw Jonathan Bailey dive down the inside into Woodcote Corner. I think he might be a little bit too far away. Is he going to prove me wrong? He was very late on the brakes. He'll be having a little look. He closes on the brakes, but I think he's just a little bit too far away from Graham in front, who's done an excellent job as they head down into the final corner. A little bit of a tighter line from Graham, but he's looking safe for now.
What a superb display from both of these drivers. There's a check over the shoulder, but it's the car in the lead, the Bentley of number 7, and victory for Graham and Collins. Super stuff across the line, and that is a lot to celebrate. Really excellent driving from the pair. It was Bailey who came home in second place for the Bugatti, and what a superb story across the board that we have seen. Oh, hang on to it. And this is 3rd and 4th across the line. Number 8's taking a bow. But what a last lap this would have been for Swift by name and by nature, because they've taken 3rd on the last lap.
Yeah.